Yo guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and we have done some testing in Duet Night Abyss on how to farm up coins, because if you guys are anything like me and you're crafting a bunch of things, you're leveling up a bunch of things, you need a ton of coins, and they're quite annoying to farm because they say that they drop from everything in game, which is true, but the amounts that you get from everything in game is very small. And if you don't actually go do the specific mission, which is in this case the excavation mission, then the coin gain you'll be getting from other missions just isn't enough to keep up with when you start forging things, especially once you start forging weapons and things. It's like 280,000, and that's after you forge the other things that you need for it, which is another like 50k I think a pop as well. So everything does get pretty expensive in the game. We did a couple of tests to see what is actually the best way to do coins. TLDR, it's fishing, but if you guys want to stick around for the spreadsheet talk and explaining everything, then definitely stick around for the video. If you don't want to stick around and you just want to know what's the best, it is fishing. So go grab yourself a fishing rod, sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and go farm up some fishing coins, because you can get quite a large amount from selling your fish and then just buying the coins. If you did find that helpful, please drop a like and a sub on the channel. I'll greatly appreciate it. And for everybody else sticking around, let's hop straight into it. So as you can see from the spreadsheet, we tried out the excavation missions, we tried out Mystic Maze, and then we obviously tried out fishing only in the one spot, because it doesn't really matter the spots. It's just going to change the type of fishes you get, but you'll still get roughly about the same result, because you basically just sell the fish and then buy the coins from the fish shop, which I'll show you guys all in game in a second. But let's start out with excavations, because this is what the game technically tells you to go ahead and do when you actually are looking for coins. If you click on the coins, I'll show you where they're found, and you can find them in the excavation missions. This is the level 6, so you have to be, I believe it's level 70, you have to be at least trial rank 55 to access this level. It only gives you slightly more than the lower levels, so don't be too bummed out if you're not 55 yet. The lower level I think gives you maybe 2 or 3k less per wave, so it's really not that much of a difference. However, if you can do the highest one, definitely do the highest one that you can do. And then you only really want to stay for 5 waves, because after the 5th wave, like, the enemies keep getting stronger each time you go further, but on the 5th wave, the reward resets back down to the normal reward, because every wave going from 1 to 5 does increase the coins you get. So for the most amount of money, make sure you are doing waves 1 to 5, then leave, and then you just reset and do 1 to 5 again. And you can see it takes on average about 15 minutes and 20 seconds, so about 15.5 minutes. This is also solo, so keep that in mind. And the goal that you pull out of it is 170k, and there's also a bonus chance of spawning a Genimon, so you have to run to the Genimon. And we also found out with this is anybody can go and do the event, but everybody has to actually feed the Genimon individually for themselves to obtain it. So make sure you are running over to feed the Genimon, and then you can get it. And then the other note is on the last wave, so on the 5th wave, you can go ahead and use one of the commission books that increase your drop chance, like the green ones that we get from the dailies. I luckily still had a purple one lying around that gives you ×8 rewards, and then I ended up with 352k bonus just from the ×8 book on the last wave. But don't use the books on any of the previous waves, only use the book on the 5th wave if you're trying to save it and get as much value out of it with the books that you can, because it will multiply the reward that you get on said level. So make sure you are using your book on wave 5. And we tried excavation again, but this time I did it with group, and the results are exactly the same, except it almost takes you half the time, because when you are in group, for whatever reason, the guys that spawn the batteries in, they just spawn at much larger rates, and you can get like a whole pack of them at once. So you can pretty much just, everybody fills up a point all the time. So it just goes a lot faster if you are in groups. So if you are going to be farming excavations, I highly recommend doing it in a group, even though it is super laggy co-op play. Also, don't be too afraid about being banned in co-op play. I have heard this floating around the internet. There's like a rumor where you get banned if you play co-op play, but it's actually just the people that are hacking and doing all kinds of scripts and things. They're making excuses as to why they got banned, because I read a Reddit post about it. This guy gave like a whole essay about what he did, and he was playing in a group and was his friend using a hack and it wasn't actually him. You know, typical things that somebody that is cheating would say. So for the most part, I've been doing the excavations on group play, doing it all on stream as well, and we, knock on wood, have not been banned for anything. So as long as you're not doing anything weird, don't be scripting or botting or whatever it is that the people are doing, then just, you should be fine in group play. However, if you don't trust it yet, then obviously just stick to solo play, but it is quite a bit slower if you are doing it solo. And then just some tips to make excavation easier for you guys. You don't have to stay by the excavator until it fully charges up. What you want to do is you want to stay around the excavator and collect batteries from the flying mobs that actually drop the little yellow batteries that float around you, the cubes. You want to make sure that you get the excavator filled up with those as fast as possible, because once you get the thing like fully filled up, the power bar, then it does actually, the timer starts ticking a lot quicker. And I found with my Rebecca, I usually use her for excavations because it's just so much easier, is I drop a jellyfish at the excavator once it hits 50%. And this is obviously when it is full up with the energy. But once it hits 50%, I drop a jellyfish, and the jellyfish lasts there pretty much all the way until the end of it, the 100%. And that I believe is with base duration, because I'm only just built for range and damage on Rebecca. I don't have increased duration on her. But the point is that that one jellyfish will go ahead and protect the generator while it kills mobs and stuff, you know, while it's charging up. And then in the meantime, you can run off to the next generator and start it up and start collecting batteries for the next one. So you don't have to sit there and babysit it. Obviously, just make sure that they don't die. So if you leave too early and you see the generator start going down really fast, like in the HP, run back real quickly and go kill the mobs. But I've never had a generator die on me. I've had one come pretty close because I forgot to drop a jellyfish and there was a lot of mobs around it. It almost died, but it actually just completed before it died. So I think for it to die, you have to really just not be killing anything around it and not putting any jellyfish down, and then it's probably just going to blow up. And I don't think you'll fail. If it's anything like Warframe, they'll just spawn another excavator and you've got to like re-excavate that excavator pretty much. So that's it for excavation. And another thing we actually have is the Mystic Maze. Now I did run this at level 70 again. If you run this at level 60, I believe you get about 1,200 traces, and the traces is what you actually use to go ahead and buy the gold in the shop. I'll show you guys in game real quick. If we go over to, where is it, combat, echoes, you see Mystic Maze, you just click on this little shop thing here and you can buy the coins if you have the threads. So we worked it out for the amount of coins that we actually got. Over there we spent it and we ended up with 175k. So obviously you'll get a little bit less if you are running it at 60. So it will be a little bit less than fishing. However, when the weekly reset happens on Mystic Maze, you do get a big chunk of here of like the points and stuff. You can see there's 2700, 4500, 2250 and 1350. So all in all, that's like just over 10k of the threads that you will get on the weekly reset. And then you can use those to go ahead and, what is the shop from this part? Spin a little fate. And you can buy a bunch of coins. So like on the start of a weekly reset, you can go ahead and buy a bunch of coins from the shop. I think we got a couple 100k. But you also want to make sure that you are buying out these. So like buy out these ones over here. It's better value because it costs the same, but you get double the price. These ones are limited, obviously, at 20. And then these over there are unlimited. So as much as you want, you can buy them out. Also get all these because they're really nice. And this globule over there is also really nice because farming this is a pain in the butt. And it seems like those actually refresh in 4 days. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and buy that out again. So at the start of the week, the bump up in coins and globules is really nice on Spindle of Fate. Otherwise, I would say just stick with fishing as that is our last one right now. So for fishing, we used the wiggling lure. We fished for 15 minutes exactly. I put a timer on my phone and left it on the desk. And I watched it and pretty much, I think I caught around 30 something odd fish. And then we traded them all in and we actually ended up with 300k gold. We are using the purple fishing rod. So let me come in game and I'll show you guys how it works. Now to get to a fishing spot, you can literally just click the fishing spot and click teleport. There's one in the Purgatory Islands. I believe there's like 2 other spots, but I just come over here because I like the view. And also another thing is there's like a daily limit on how much fish you can catch in a spot. But I have sat here for quite a while and I haven't hit the limit yet. People are saying that it's 100 fish per spot. But if you are fishing up 100 fish in one spot, you're going to be there for quite a while. So what you want to do is you activate fishing. And then I did farm up a couple of fish beforehand to show you guys about the sell bug. If you go ahead and you try and sell, and then you click on all the different types. So we got, actually we only have blue, we have green. Click blue and green and I go sell. And then sometimes it bugs out. You can see example there, it bugs out and it doesn't actually sell. It's kind of like a visual bug. I don't know why it does that, but what you do is you just sell them individually. So we got 1 there, we got 3 over here. Let's go ahead, click that one again and sell. And then this time it worked. And you can see that one is still there. If you go sell, try and sell it again. Sometimes you get some more coins for it, but yeah, it just bugs out. So that is just a visual bug, so don't worry. Just leave it there and sell it individually. And then with those, you come over to this shop and you want to go over to items over there and you can buy the coins over there. Now mine is at 50k. I believe it started at a lower level when we actually bought the other ones. This does, like, I think it exponentially gets bigger and bigger. I believe the first one was like 5k, 10k, 20k. I can't remember the exact number of it, but it kind of all equals out anyway. So just go ahead and fish and you can buy yourself. We can just go grab ourselves like 50k coins right now. There we go, 50k, very nice. Add up to our little bit of coin. You can see we are perpetually broke on coins trying to farm these up. But that's pretty much it. Fishing is really super simple and it's just relaxing. Grab yourself a fishing rod, fish for 15 minutes and then walk away with quite a bit of gold. Another thing with fishing is you can actually get a genie mon with a fishing trait. Now I don't have one, unfortunately. It is one of the legendary ones. You can see there at piece is auto reel in enabled, and that's going to make fishing so much faster. You'll end up with like pretty much double the coins is what I got, because it skips the mini game when you are fishing. I believe all you have to do is cast your line and you have to hit spacebar when the fish actually attaches, and then that's it. It just auto reels it in. So you can pretty much just skip the whole mini game and you would end up with a lot more fish and you can go ahead and cap out the coins. and you can go ahead and just buy way more coins and maybe even cap out the fishing spots. If you have capped out one fishing spot, there is 3 fishing spots that I know of, and each of them have a limit of 100 fish per day. So that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, please drop a like and sub on the channel. Helps me out so much. And I'll catch all you beautiful people in the next one. Enjoy your fishing. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the